Hi folks, how you doing? It's Will here, back for another fight card prediction. This week we're going to be breaking down UFC Fight Night 67 from Goiania in Brazil. It's the natural born killer Goiania Condit makes his return after a lengthy injury to face UFC veteran Thiago the Pitbull Alves. A few good fights in this card, a few decent fighters. I'm looking forward to seeing some nice prospects in there. So let's get straight into it here. Starting off in the welterweight division, we have Tom Breese fighting Luis Dutra Jr. Now, Tom Breese is a guy I've been watching for the last few years over here in Britain. A really good kid. He's very young. He's 23. He's like 6'3", very long, very rangy for that division. Looking forward to seeing him here. He fights out of TriStar over there in Montreal with Faraz Sahabi. A lot of the European fighters seem to be going over there. Joseph Duffy, Stevie Ray from my country. It's another fighter who's made his way over there to TriStar. As I say, 23 years old, 7-0 records, 1 win by TKO, 6 via submission. Extremely creative with his submissions. He's got a really good use of the rubber guard, which I've noticed, and can catch people out down there. Looks for Google platters and omoplatas quite easily. Really good back control. I think 3 or 4 of his wins are by rear naked choke. So very, very good when it goes to ground. Slick in transitions as well, and extremely calm and collected for the age that he's at. And along with his striking, which it's coming along, he's starting to use his range a little bit. Very much a fighter that we'll keep an eye on for the next few years. I think he's going to be making his way into that top 15 in that division within the next few years as well. So he's against Luis Dutra Jr. here, who fought, I think he fought in Tough Brazil too this second season on there. He was Minotauro's top pick. I think he won his first fight via submission and then got injured and then got replaced. Saw him in the UFC against Kiichi Kunamoto. Pretty much shot himself in the foot and disqualified himself with elbows to the back of the head. It's like 3 or 4 clear ones. He's not the most technical fighter. He's got some kind of looping shots. Usually before that in some of his fights he put his combinations together quite well, and he's quite smooth with his strikes to takedowns as well. So I think it's a really good fight for Tom Breese. I think the aggressiveness of Dutra is going to cost him here, where Breese is going to take him down. He's going to thoroughly dominate him down there. I think he has a really good chance later on in this fight to win via submission once Dutra. I think he can be a little gassy, and I think Breese can take him out. I'm not going to go with a submission victory. I'm going to go with a pretty clear decision victory for Tom Breese. Next up in the women's strawweight division, we have Ericka Almeida against Julianna Lima. Julianna Lima, will start off with her 2 fights in the UFC. She lost her first one to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Just pretty much got outstruck. She did take Jędrzejczyk down from the clinch, but Jędrzejczyk's so accurate, hit her with some beautiful shots and rode out a decision victory. Last time out against Lena Ansarov, showed some strong takedowns, some ground and pound, and just did enough to win that fight. Nothing spectacular, takedowns and a few shots. Won a unanimous decision victory over Ansarov. Ericka Almeida is a newcomer, 7-0, 1 win by TKO, 6 by submissions. I've watched this girl's last 3 or 4 fights. Big fan of Jungle Fights. If you don't watch that, go watch it. I watched her in April at Jungle Fight 76 against Jennifer Gonzalez, with a beautiful finish via triangle in the first round. It kind of all started on the feet. It was petty part. Wasn't too much. Gonzalez got a bit too close, and Almeida got the plum clinch and started unloading with knees. Some beautiful strikes, put her up against the fence, took her down, and was just stifling from there. Wouldn't let her move. Transitioned to different positions very well, and then kind of got the mount, which put her into the triangle, which went to her back, and Gonzalez had nowhere to go. She has a good grappler. Strikes, I say, are decent from the clinch, but I think Lima's too strong. I think she's a bit too gritty for Almeida, who's a young girl still in the sport. I think she can take a round, maybe possibly 2 rounds off Lima, but I just feel that Lima's got enough with the takedowns to really take I'm going to go a split decision victory for Julianna Lima. Next up, we've got Lucas Martins against Mirsad Bektic. This could be a very fun fight because Martins is a very aggressive fighter. I think he lost the last time out to Darren Elkins, where he just got put against the cage and didn't really show much, get taken down, just like a typical Darren Elkins performance pretty much. But before that, his wins at what was it? He knocked out Jeremy Larson, sub Junior Hernandez. I think he had he got a performance bonus for the win over Alex White, which was a really fun fight. The guy's got a lot of KO power, and I think that this fight with Bektic could be a pretty good one. It depends what Bektic wants to do, because Bektic is a really good grappler. We saw that in his last fight against Paul Redmond. Now, I think if Paul Redmond was fighting at lightweight, not going to a new weight class and not coming in 2 weeks' notice, I think Redmond would have showed a lot more of himself. But Mirsad Bektic is a very good prospect in that 145-pound division. Passed the guard with ease against Redser, and yeah, he beat Skelly before that. He's a really good fighter at American top team. 4 wins by TKO, 2 by submission, and 3 by decision. I like Bektic. I think he's going to be able to take it to the ground, and he can stifle Martins like Elkins did. So I'm going to go Bektic via unanimous decision. Next up, another fight I'm looking forward to seeing. It's Elizeu Zaleski. That's not the one I'm looking forward to, against Nicholas Dalby. We'll start off with Zaleski. 14-4 record, 11 wins via TKO, 2 by sub and 1 by decision. Not 1 by decision, 0 by decision. Watched his last four fights as well. Finished all of them. Very devastating striker. Loves to stand and bang, and he's got a very powerful big right hand, big power. And if he hits you, you're gonna feel it. I think he gasses out a little bit late in fights. So that's something to keep an eye on here. Especially against Nicholas Dalby. Now, Nicholas Dalby is a fun fighter to watch. He's really good everywhere. Extremely well rounded. 4 wins by TKO, 3 wins by submission, 6 by decisions. So coming out of Denmark, he was the former Cage Warriors champion. And his last, I think it was Mosnan Bahari, he looked very dominant against him. Before that, he won the title against Sergey Churalov. And if you haven't seen that knockout, it's a beautiful knockout. He was peppering Churalov with leg kicks, and then after he kind of hit him with it, 3 or 4 of them in that 4th round, threw a head kick, and that put Churalov out straight away. Followed up with some punches, and that was that. So I'm looking forward to Nicholas Dalby here. I think this could be a stand-up fight, and if it a stand-up fight until Zaleski maybe fades, and then I can see Dalby taking him down. Can I see a finish in this one? Possibly late in the 3rd, but I like Dalby by a decision in this one as well. Next up is a pretty big fight in the flyweight division. We have Jussier Formiga against Wilson Heiss. Jussier Formiga, 17-3 with 8 wins via submission, 9 via decision. Coming off wins over Scott Jorgensen via submission, where it was a little bit controversial there, but he still got the win. And he beat Zach Makovsky last time out as well. He showed a little bit of improved striking and great takedown defense as well. Wilson Heiss, a southpaw, 19-5 record with 9 wins by submission and 10 by decision. Beat Joby Sanchez, I think, in his UFC debut. Got dropped in that fight, and then he beat in fact Sanchez wasn't his Joby Sanchez wasn't his debut, but I think it was his flyweight debut. Got knocked down by Sanchez, who it was quite back and forth on the feet. Scott Jorgensen, it was in the 1st round, he hit him with a huge body kick, which I think broke Jorgensen's rib and took him down and subbed him out down there. I think overall they're both very similar fighters. I just think Formiga is the better fighter overall, and he will pretty much dictate where this fight goes. I think he'll take it to the ground, and he can dominate him down there. I don't think he'll stop him, but I think he'll get a decision victory out of it. So Jussier Formiga via another decision for me. Next up we have Rony Jason against Damon Jackson. Rony Jason was the tough winner a few years back. Lost to Robbie Peralta last time out. Before that he had a TKO win over Steven Seiler. A guy who's pretty much well-rounded everywhere, but I think he needs to watch what he's doing, because he got taken down by Peralta fairly easy with his aggressiveness. He had that loss to Jeremy Stephens, which seemed to have thrown the guy kind of off everywhere. I do like him in this fight though. He's against Damon Jackson, who's making his second appearance in the UFC. 9-1 record with 7 wins via submission and 2 via TKO. Very, very crafty with the submissions. I think his gas tank's a little bit iffy. He did get subbed last time out by Yancy Medeiros with a beautiful, I think it was a reverse bulldog submission. Pretty nice to see a guy who's kind of improving on his feet, switches stances quite a lot. I like Ronnie Jason in this fight. I personally think he'll knock him out, so I'm going to go Ronnie Jason by TKO in the second round. Moving on, we have Wendall Oliveira against Darren Till. Now this is a fight that let me see. A fight. So let's Darren Till here. It's an English guy who fights out of Brazil. He's fought all of his fights in South America. I think, let me see, he's got 8 wins via TKO or knockout, 2 by submission and 2 by decision. 12-0 against Wendall Oliveira. He has 24-8, who has 11 of his wins via TKO and 10 via decision. Now I think this could be a very fun fight, because I think it's going to be one that's going to be stand and bang here. And I think Wendall Oliveira has the more power from what I've seen. He's a little bit more technical. He's a bit more aggressive, which may lead to Till maybe taking him down. But I like Oliveira via knockout in the second round. Onto the lightweight division, we have Norman Parke against Francisco Trinaldo. Mirsad Duba's coming in here on short notice. I think Gilbert Burns was supposed to fight Norman Parke here. I think that would have been a tough fight for Norman Parke. I think this is a very good fight for Norman Parke. He's Mirsad Duba wants to try and get you to the ground, he hasn't really got much on his feet, big looping shots. He does gas out pretty badly. He'll try and, I can see him putting Parke against the fence, but Parke has very good judo skills. Lost his last fight out to Gleison Tebow and via a split decision, which is probably more a unanimous decision. Just got outclassed, and nothing wrong with that. Tebow's been around for a long time. I like Norman Parke in this fight. I think he's got enough to just keep Trinaldo at bay and get a decision victory. So Norman Parke, be a decision for me there. Light heavyweight division, we have Francimar Barroso against Ryan Jimmo. Barroso, I think he won his first fight against Trinaldo Oliveira, and then he lost his last one out to Hans Stringer, where he got taken down, put against the fence, and he just got basically dominated by Stringer. A guy, he has got power in his hands, but I just don't see where not unless he catches Jimmo early. I think Jimmo's very up and down. He lost last time out to OSP, got taken down and then got stopped in the second round. I think he injured himself as well. But Ryan Jimmo has big knockout power. You saw that against Anthony Peroche. When he plants his feet and he hits you, you're going down. I like Jimmo in this fight. I think he could stop this fight as well, so I'm going to go Ryan Jimmo via TKO early in round number 3. Welterweight division with KJ Nunes against Alex Oliveira. KJ Nunes is coming off that no contest. I think he poked Darren Cruikshank in the eye. He's predominantly a boxer. Very, very good boxing skills. Former Strikeforce fighter who fought for the title against Nick Diaz. Throws some nice leg kicks sometimes. Has some decent, when he gets put down the ground, he can get back up quite quick. But does get taken down fairly easy. So I'm looking forward to seeing Alex Oliveira here. Cowboy fought a very close fight. He dominated Gilbert Burns for two rounds. And Gilbert Burns kind of woke up in the third round, took him down, and when you go to the ground with Gilbert Burns, there's a really good chance that you will get stopped down there, and that's what happened to Cowboy. I think Oliveira can win this fight. I think he will win the fight via decision, so Alex Oliveira for me. Moving on to the featherweight division, in the co-main event we have Nick Lentz against Charles the Bronx Oliveira. I see a lot of people picking Charles Oliveira here. I think Nick Lentz is going to be the spoiler on all this. Oliveira has looked very, very good in his last few fights. I thought his submission over Hatsuhioki was really, really good, and a lovely finish. Wasn't favoured too much against Jeremy Stephens. Dominated Jeremy Stephens from the beginning to the end. We all know where Oliveira wants to take this fight. Lentz will want to put you against the cage, take you down, get back up, take you down, get hit with some strikes and get you back to the ground again. I'm actually going to go for the underdog here. I'm going to go for Nick Lentz. I think he's going to grind out a win down here. I think it's going to be another decision. I think there's going to be a lot of decisions for this one. And on to the main event, we have Carlos Condit against Thiago Alves. Very, very, very fun fight. It's great to see Carlos Condit back because he is one of the most exciting fighters to watch when he wants to. We've seen that against Nick Diaz. He stuck to the game plan, got the decision victory there, and won the interim title. See, this is the first we've seen him since March last year. He lost to Tyron Woodley via injury, but he got his leg kind of kicked out from him by Woodley in that fight. He didn't look great in it, to be honest with you. Anyway, I think he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. 4 of his last 5, I think a win maybe over Martin Kampmann, and obviously the Nick Diaz one, so maybe 4 of his last 6. So yeah, he's against Thiago Alves here, who's came back. He looked great against Seth Brzezinski. Was actually getting lit up by Jordan Mayen last time out, and Jordan Mayen started fucking around, and then he unleashed, unlike what Thiago Alves can do, he unleashed a body kick, and that fucking crumpled Jordan Mayen up, because he was fast becoming that fight was fast becoming a loss for Thiago Alves. So you can never count out Thiago Alves. I just think that Carlos Condit, I think we saw with John Dodson at the weekend, there's a lot of rust. I think there's a good chance that Condit could finish Alves late on, but I think it's going to be another decision victory for Carlos Condit. So that's my picks for UFC Fight Night 67 from Brazil. I'll be back for UFC Fight Night 68 from New Orleans as Tim Boetsch faces Benson Henderson, Ben Rothwell, Matt Mitrione, and a very fun fight between Dustin Poirier against Gianci Medeiros. So come follow me on Twitter, BigBilber7, Will Martin7 MMA. Come talk some MMA to me there. Leave some comments in the drop down box and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.